What is up, fight fans? How are we doing? So first and foremost, what a weekend of boxing was for the Charlo brothers. Um, it was a great display, with one dominant victory and then one interesting, I guess, outcome. Uh, but basically, long story short, the recap of the fight is Jermall Charlo looked very impressive, and he looked the part. He looked really did look the part. He looked the part to be, to face Canelo. Let's just say it. That's what the fight I want to see. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fight fans that want to see it too. The two clash of styles would be kind of interesting because Charlo has the height. He is 6 foot, has the reach, and knows how to use it. He kept Derevyanchenko at bay with that jab, was catching him coming in, and it got messy for Derevyanchenko towards in the middle rounds. Now that eye was nasty. But I mean, you can kind of see it already. Derevyanchenko's the type of guy that you look at him funny and he swells up. But still, he did put up a valiant effort at the end. Towards the end of the fight, he was, trying to make a little rally towards the end of the rounds, trying to just will his way inside when Charlo looked a little more fatigued, is not as sharp. But Charlo weathered every storm that Derevyanchenko brought to him. He looked impressive. Like I said, he looked strong. He looked fast. He can counter. Likes to fight from the inside from time to time to counter. He hurt Derevyanchenko multiple times during this fight, and it's just interesting to see what road Charlo takes. I know they've already started the chatter with the Canelo fight. I know they're already trying to cash out and get that fight in, and potentially take over the number one selling spot. That's what he wants. That's what it's about. We need a star after Canelo, and Charlo is looking the part so far. To me, it was very impressive. Very impressive. Now, I did feel that he had the edge. I just didn't know if he was going to be able to keep a Derevyanchenko away from him the whole time. He quickly showed us that he was, and that his power was going to, be alive and well in making Derevyanchenko think twice about coming in, because he did pick his spots, but at the same time he stuck to the game plan. Very disciplined. I'm very impressed. Now, for those of you that remember, I know I didn't do amazing in views, but I did a fight bet. I did it online, and I selected that the Charlos were going to win. So those of you who followed my advice and that were riding the ship with me, congrats. I hope you guys made something, even if it's just for fun, $10, $20, $50, 100,000, whatever it is. Congrats. I know limits do apply when you do online, so it's more for fun type thing. But here we are. Charlo got the win for us. He looked impressive. Time for a Canelo, or that's what they're saying, right? Now, that fight would be money fight, and it would be a big draw. Does he have the tools? If he fought how he fought against Derevyanchenko, he does have a chance, okay? Canelo is a different style fighter. Canelo is a different animal, but it would be a good measuring stick to see where the highest of the highest are at as far as competition, skill-wise, conditioning, everything that plays a role into, being the number one greatest boxer and the number one attraction. Something to keep an eye out for me that I liked was just the way he was so disciplined. He was very mature in this fight and did not get kind of lured into a phone booth fight. He reset when he had to reset. Sometimes you could see that he would take half a step, take a deep breath, and then go back to his jab. Sometimes the jab wasn't as fast as it was when the fight started, but he was disciplined in the sense that he did not get caught in a take a punch, give a punch type style fight. He was very disciplined, and I can't say it enough. Discipline is the word that comes out, very mature. Now, power is there. So I would like to see how he would go about fighting a Canelo, what kind of style he'd go. Would he go for the just trying to counter? Canelo is very quick. He does have pop too, and he is very good with timing. Kind of both defensive styles. The thing with that is, I feel like Canelo is, they're both boxer punchers. I feel like the reach would be a problem with Canelo. The speed might take a couple of rounds to adjust, and depending on the pace of the fight, the pace is not going to be fought at a Derevyanchenko pace where he's come forward. Canelo does like to pick his spots, and he does like to slow down the pace because he usually can. It's not 200 punches a round type fights when these two guys, and that's where they prefer the fight. So something to look at is how fast that fight's made. What's next for Charlo is something that it's going to be determined to see where Canelo is at too. Is he fighting? What weight class is he fighting? Is this fight going to be done at 160, or can this fight be done at 168? Is 168 too much for Charlo? Is he not going to be comfortable? Is there going to be a catch weight at maybe 165, 164? It's all to be determined. But Charlo looked impressive. Oh man, I'm a fan. I always was. I like, boxing needs that, and they played the role of a villain before, and boxing needs that. It's entertainment. People paid to see the villain lose. People pay for great boxing technique and someone that has pop. And Charlo's looking like he's had, all three of those are checked on the mark. Now, their personality-wise, outside of the ring, boxing needs that. At the end of the day, boxing needs a star after the Canelos, now that Pacquiao's fighting against McGregor. So we need a Charlo to step up, someone to carry the torch. Well, is he the chosen one? I think it's still too soon to tell, guys. I really do think so, just because it was one fight. Derevyanchenko was, a clash of styles. It was a perfect fight for Charlo. The taller, more fit. He looked more, not physical in the sense that like brute strength, because that's Derevyanchenko's game plan: come forward. But he looked very composed, and he looked like he had enough strength and towards the end of the fight physicality to be up to par with the Derevyanchenko style fight. And if not, he probably did get the better of him there. So I mean, it's too close to tell. Time will tell. But I think I would want to see him fight a Canelo. I think that's the fight to be made. And to be honest, is that a fight Canelo is going to take right away? I don't know. I don't know where Canelo's at. He's dealing with his issues on his whole DAZN Golden Boy contract. I would love to see it. Boy, oh boy. That might be a fight that has to be done with fans. That might be a fight that has to be done once coronavirus is gone, or maybe to a percentage of seating capacity. But that fight, the roads are pointing to that fight. I mean, I just hope there's not a hiccup in Charlos's road to get to a Canelo fight. But to me, if he feels like he's ready, this was the performance of a lifetime, performance, of his best performance of his career, I think, personally. And I think that given what Derevyanchenko had done, tough fights against Jacobs, tough fights against Triple G. Some people thought he beat Triple G. I think it would be the fight to be made for Charlo. Now, and here's the now. And we mentioned Derevyanchenko. We mentioned Canelo. There's one man that we have to mention, and that's Triple G as well. Could he face potentially a Triple G? Yes, he can. Is it the same? Is the risk worth the reward as far as potentially putting the risk of a Canelo fight in hand? Maybe the winner fights Canelo. Maybe, he comes in and he injures it. I don't know. Anything can happen in a fight. Does he want to jump straight into it, or does he want to take another fight? Not that he needs a tune-up. This was the performance of a lifetime, I feel like. But to me, I say go straight for a Canelo. But it wouldn't be out of the question to see him fight a Triple G. Triple G would make a lot of sense. It's a common opponent. And if he can potentially, beat Triple G in one fight, no draw, and hurt him and just box circles around him. He, like I said, he has the length, he has the speed. Triple G is very good with timing. At least he was when he was up and comer before the whole Derevyanchenko fight. His whole thing was timing. He looked like he was just coming forward. He throws shots around the head. I feel like Charlo, the way he performed, he can weather that storm. He used his right hand. He used his reach. And as you can see from the slides, he would throw that little uppercut, sometimes a little bit too much. Whereas he could be throwing like a left hook to the body, right hand to the body. He was throwing that uppercut, trying to just get him out of there. But again, that's what boxing needs. We need someone that's going to go and try to get the kill, get the knockout. I was very impressed. And you could see that at times he would open up and throw, trying to get him out of there. Derevyanchenko's a tough dude. Hats off to him. But a lot of people, maybe it couldn't even be the way Charlo fought. It could have been a Canelo in there, and he still would have won. Charlo would have won. It could have been a Triple G. The way Charlo fought that fight, as polished, as sharp as he did, he could have won that fight. There could have been a lot of other fighters in there, and Charlo would have beat him on that night. I think it was one of those performances that was really, well thought of, well executed. Now, I'm not saying he's untouchable, unbeatable, that he'll go in and walk through, outbox Triple G, outbox Canelo. Like I said, this is the box office. It's all about online wagering. So would I bet against Canelo? Well, it depends on the odds. All right, that's what I always tell people when they ask me, who do you think's going to win? Who would you put your money on? It all depends on the odds. I honestly felt that at a 175, I believe it was, the odds opened up at like a 115, 125, 130, minus 135, I think was the closest it was for Derevyanchenko. I feel like I would have bet with Charlo regardless of, even if it would have gotten a 350, 450, kind of like a Rosario fight, odds for Derevyanchenko. So there's certain fights that, like, for example, Teofimo Lomachenko, where the odds are, right here. And I think, if Lomachenko, gets caught once, he's been dropped before, you can kind of see it, you can bet. Or if like a Gervonta Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz, the odds are up here. You make so much more with Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis. It's worth a shot. What if Gervonta gasses out because he's been cutting a lot of weight at a different weight class? There's a lot to take in. There's a lot to take in when coming to the conclusion of, I would bet on this guy because this guy's gonna win, right? But all I'm saying is the way Charlo fought, he brought his A game. There's a lot of other fighters on that night who would have stepped in there that would have lost as well. All right, so hats off to Charlo. Good job. You executed. You looked good. He looked amazing, actually. I was very impressed. I was already a fan, but this one's all like, okay, Charlo's a problem. Charlo is a problem at that division. And we're going to talk about his brother as well. And we're going to talk about, upcoming fights. And then we'll talk about what roads they should take. But for now, I think Charlo's in line for, he should, try a Canelo, maybe a measuring stick Triple G. If he wants to rack up a couple more wins, a couple more paydays, hey, after this performance, he can do what he needs to do. He's the man. He can dictate now. But Charlo, congrats. He is the winner. Congrats. One more thing. Charlo looked really well. He looked impressive. That's him right there with a little belt. I don't know if that's the same exact fight or if that's even the right Charlo, but there he is, right? Hats off, man. I'm still impressed. I'm not, like I said, not indestructible. Derevyanchenko had some, moments in the fight, but let's keep the momentum going for Charlo. What I'm gonna ask you guys is comment down below, like, subscribe. It does keep me going. But for Charlo, let me know who you guys think Charlo should fight. Let me know what you guys think about his performance, and let me know if you guys think he'll have, any success. Not against a Canelo, not there yet. against not a common opponent, but against Triple G, someone that Canelo has fought, or if there's someone Canelo has fought that you think would be a smart move for him to take out. Kovalev, perhaps. You know, he can be in line at Triple G. You know, there's a lot of fighters out there that Canelo's fought. Maybe a Jacobs. You know, there's a lot of fights out there, and stylistically wise, though, Triple G, you know, would be interesting. Jacobs, another big, tall, lengthy boxer with speed. So, I mean, let me know. Comment down below. Comment what you think. And congrats to those who trusted me and went with that parlay, because the Charlos helped us cash out. Like I mentioned, I didn't bet too much. I'm gonna start doing a little bankroll in the top right, bottom right, where I'm at when I announce my fight, so we can see where we're at, and we're just gonna try to get that number to grow, guys. All right, guys, take care. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Charlo looked impressive. Let me know down below who you guys think he should fight, potential matchups, who he'll have trouble with, and who he will have success with. Let's talk the boxing game. Take care. This is the box office. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys.